Hey everybody, you are watching Ready Set Drone, and today I have the Hawkeye Firefly Micro Action Camera. This is a tiny little action camera that shoots 1080 at 30 frames per second. Would be great for flying FPV and other remote control stuff, mounting it to trucks and boats and stuff like that. So stay tuned and we'll check it out. So the first thing you got to know about this little guy is it is tiny. It is quite a bit smaller than a GoPro Hero Session, a lot smaller than a regular GoPro Hero, and designed for mounting to places where it might be hard to get a camera mounted otherwise. Now it's not going to compete with a GoPro in terms of quality, but it's also way less expensive, and so that's a big factor when it comes to purchasing this. It's something that you can use and not have to worry too much about if it gets broken, crashed, lost, or whatever. But the reason I don't think it will is because it comes with this little mount that I believe is a 25-degree angle, and so if you're mounting this onto the front of your quadcopter, especially a racing quad, it's a decent preset value, meaning that if you mount it here, it's facing up, but as the quad goes forward, this thing is going to tilt down and give you a pretty good line of sight right in front of your, or I should say a pretty good FPV view right in front of your quad. Now this thing is super simple. It takes a micro SD card. It does not have a spring load on it, so you have to actually pull it in and out with fingernails or tweezers or a knife or something. It's got a charging port. It comes with this charging cable right here, which charges via USB. The power button turns it on and off and starts and stops recording. The mode button switches you between 720 and 1080. Now, again, the quality on this is going to be way better than a lot of those little keychain cameras that have come out recently, as well as better than recording via DVR through an FPV camera. The reason is because it's recording locally here and it's not having to be transmitted over 5.8 gigahertz. So that's what I'm most excited about, is for my future FPV reviews and flying FPV. I'll still use the FPV camera. I don't intend to hook this up as an FPV camera, but I will record using this, and so therefore I'll have better flight video that I can show everybody, which is super exciting. It weighs 14 grams, and the field of view on it, I believe, is 160 degrees. So it's a pretty wide field of view, which is what you need for connecting it to things that you're going to be running around at high speed. That's the kind of look I think you want to have. It is also 30 frames per second at 1080 or at 720. So it's not a high frame rate, but it's also not 15 frames per second, which some of those little cameras are. Has a built-in battery, non-replaceable, and there's no way to format the card directly in this thing. You actually have to take the card out. I believe it's FAT32 is how the card is formatted. So as long as you delete it, erase it, or reformat it as FAT32, it works just fine. And as I said, there's no spring load. I wish there was on the card, so you have to kind of dig it out of there and push it in and make sure you get it in there straight. The first time I put it in, it went in a little crooked and it wasn't quite right, so I had to pull it out and straighten it and put it in. So just something to be aware of. As I said, I'm excited to put this onto my FPV quads, as well as onto several other RC things that I have, and also just shoot around with it a little bit outside and kind of see how everything looks coming off of it. So let's check out some of that footage.
Okay, I've got the Walkera Furious 215 here. It's a great little racer, very fast, and it's got a built-in FPV camera, but I'm using the Firefly here on top. I've just got some Velcro on it, so as long as I don't crash, I think it's going to stay just fine. You could put a strap across as well, across the top. I don't actually have one with me, so I'm going to just fly carefully and try not to crash so I don't lose the camera. But let's go ahead and turn the camera on. You can adjust the tilt. You can adjust the tilt here so that, you know, depending on how aggressively you're flying, you get the right angle on the ground. And I'll start the camera.
All right, it's kind of a unique use case, but it's great for filming guinea pigs. This is Ollie. Okay, so first of all, I'm using the Firefly camera right now, both audio and video coming off of it. I wanted to show you guys one of the reasons I like this camera a lot is it's super lightweight, and it is so small and lightweight that it's very easy to attach to things. It doesn't really require all the fancy GoPro mounts that you use with a GoPro. I feel pretty confident just using a zip tie with this little bracket that it comes with. So what I'm going to do right now is just put it in the bracket, which is designed to hold it at an angle, really for FPV flying, but also for other stuff. I'm going to put it right here on this skateboard, this electric skateboard, which I love this board. It's got the big knobby wheels on it, and I'm going to zip tie it to the board. This board happens to have a little cutout handle for carrying it, and this works really well for zip tie as well. So it's zip tied on, and let's go for a little ride, see how it does. So as you can see, the Firefly Micro Action Camera has pretty decent footage for a camera this size, and especially for this price. You really can't beat the price. I'm very excited to put this thing on more RC reviews in the future. My intention is to just put a piece of Velcro on the bottom of it and then Velcro it on. You can use zip ties, you can put it in the mount and use the mount to connect it if you want it at an angle. There's all kinds of ways to mount this thing. It's really so lightweight at 14 grams. And so versatile, and again, so cheap that if it's damaged, I'm not going to worry too much about it. If you like this video, I hope you'll give it a big thumbs up. If you want to order one of these, there's a link in the description. And if you want to know more about drones and drone accessories and cameras, please subscribe to Ready Set Drone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.